The Mandalorian, Chicken Soup, and Ellis Island are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is November 12th, 2021. It is the 316th day of the year. We got 49 days left until 2021 is over. It is the 46th Friday in the 46th week and the 52nd day of fall. 39 days left till winter, and we got 13 days until Thanksgiving. Today's National Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. Not just National Chicken Soup Day, it's National Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. So this day celebrates who you are and how you got here. Take time to nurture your soul on November 12th. I guess with chicken soup, I would think yoga, prayer, reggae music would be ways to nurture your soul, but I guess chicken soup does it too. A little chicken soup does a lot of good. It is warm and hearty. That's from their website. It's warm and hearty. All right, let's see what else November 12th has given us. 1912, the frozen bodies of Robert Scott and his men are found on Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica. I'm always fascinated when they find someone that's been missing for, forever. They just don't know where they were, and especially if they're frozen. That happens on Mount Everest all the time. The most interesting one I know of is George Mallory. He went up in 1924. They found his body in 1999, still holding on to his pickaxe. 1936 in California, the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge opens for traffic. 1941, World War II, temperatures around Moscow dropped to -12 Celsius or 10 degrees Fahrenheit, so the Soviets launch ski troops for the first time and attack the freezing Germans near the city. It sucks when you're in a war, but when you're freezing to death and guys come at you on skis, it sucks even more. 1954, Ellis Island closes its doors for the last time and ceases operations. Ellis Island is a federally owned island in New York Harbor that was the busiest immigration inspection station in the United States from 1892 to 1954. Around 12 million immigrants came through this island to enter the United States. The first immigrants to arrive at Ellis Island were 3 unaccompanied minors. Ellis Island took in these 3 minors on New Year's Day in 1892, when the steamship Nevada arrived with 124 passengers from Europe. The actual first one to ever step foot on United States soil at Ellis Island was Annie Moore, a 16-year-old Irish girl who traveled across the Atlantic with her 2 brothers, ages 7 and 11. There's a statue of the 3 of them in the Ellis Island Immigration Museum. Back then, immigrants were subjected to a physical and mental examination to ensure that they were a fit for admittance into the United States. They were looking for contagious diseases, poor physiques might mean, they had some other issue, feeble-mindedness or insanity. If this was the case, they were put back on the boat they came from and were sent back. They gave them puzzles and memory tests to make sure that they had enough intelligence to enter the United States. One of the biggest myths about Ellis Island is a lot of people came here and they were forced to change their name. This was never a practice. It may have happened occasionally or something like that, but it was never a policy or anything they did on a regular basis. I think that rumor comes from the movie The Godfather, or the book at least, where they came there and the kid didn't talk, and so the guy asked him what his name was, and he didn't answer, and he looked at where he came from and gave him the last name of the town he was from in Italy, Corleone. Ellis Island was also used as a detention facility during World War I and World War II. In the end, it became more famous for the deportations than the immigrations. 1970. Now, we've talked about this one before, but I think it's worth talking about again because it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of coming out of the news, and normal thinking human beings actually did this. I mean, it's more bizarre than Sharknado. The Oregon Highway Division attempts to destroy a rotting beach sperm whale with explosives, leading to the now famous exploding whale incident. So this was great, happened here in Oregon, and they tried a couple different ways to get rid of this whale. They tried to push it back out into the sea, so the whatever could eat it and just go away that. It didn't work. So they decided they blow it up with a bunch of dynamite. Even one of the professionals there said, that's way too much dynamite. But they said, no, we want to make sure this thing gets incinerated into little bits so it's not all over the beach and the birds or whatever will eat it. Well, it blew up, but it didn't turn into little tiny pieces. There was a whole bunch of onlookers that had come and they heard they were going to do this. So the locals came down and they're all in the dunes around it. They blew this thing up and 100-pound chunks of whale went flying through the air, landing on people, just drenching them in whale guts in some cases. And one giant piece landed on the top of a car in a parking lot that was like a quarter of a mile away and just destroyed the car. It's a great piece of thing. Now, I would put the video of that up. You can find it on YouTube, but I don't want to get demonetized, so I can't put it up. But it's great. I'll leave a link down below. 2003, the Shanghai Transrapid train sets a world record. It goes 311 miles per hour or 501 kilometers per hour. This was the fastest commercial railway system on the planet. It still remains the fastest for an unmodified commercial rail vehicle. 311 miles per hour on land. That's crazy. I have this love of trains where I just like to sit in a train and just watch the scenery. I don't know how much scenery you're going to be seeing at 311 miles per hour, but I'd still like to go on this train. Premiered on November 12th, 2019, we got The Mandalorian. This is on Disney+. It is a Star Wars thing. It's about Mandalorians, which if you remember the original Star Wars, they had Boba Fett. Well, he was a Mandalorian. So this is about another Mandalorian who are these like mercenary type guys. But they kind of have this samurai thing, like they have this code, you know, like samurais did, and they never take off their helmet, and they always honor the contract that they took up, whether it's bounty hunting, mercenary work, or an assassin. Great series. I can't wait for season 2. Born on November 12th, 1945, Neil Young, legendary folk singer. He is responsible for songs like Old Man, Heart of Gold, Harvest Moon, Alabama. Apart from his solo career, he was a member of the bands Buffalo Springfield and Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Little piece of trivia about him, he was one of the last people in Ontario, Canada to be diagnosed with polio and experience seizures as a kid. He was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, once for his solo career and another time for being a member of Buffalo Springfield. Died on November 12th, 2018. Stan Lee passes away. I may have talked about him before. He was a great man. He was an American comic book writer, editor, publisher, and producer. He started off with this one comic company called Timely Publications, which later became Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics really started off as a small division of Timely Publications, and he was the primary creative lead for 2 decades. He created some of the most iconic and well-known comic book heroes and villains. He created or co-created Spider-Man, the X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, Ant-Man, Wasp, the Fantastic Four, Black Panther, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, the Scarlet Witch, and Black Widow. He died on November 12th of 2018. Now this sucks. That same year in January, a nurse accused this 95-year-old man of sexual harassment. I don't know what the outcome was, if it got dropped after he passed away or whatever, but most people say it was just a blackmail thing that he didn't give into, or his people. He was 95 years old. All right, everyone, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.